Good evening. Welcome to this 256 broadcast here in the Issues Room this evening. We'd like to welcome you. It's Friday um, in August, and I believe today is the 23rd, if I have it right, because I've been moving about and sometimes you get your dates wrong. But yes, today is the 23rd, and you can imagine August is already gone. We'll be ushering September, another short month, and then we'll be coming closer to the American elections, the Democrats and the Republicans. And I believe it's all set for the first debate in September on the 10th between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Um, as it is, the both of them will be locking horns, like we say in Liberia, uh, like it's a soccer game, and we'll see who got the juice. But again, we'd like to welcome you. Just a teaser on American politics on Volcano Shelton. Let me not drag the cart. Alphonso, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure having you. Moses, Sandy, gentlemen, we already gone at least 7 minutes into time. So let's keep it going. Your 30 seconds of intro, and let's start this conversation tonight.
Yeah, go. Uh, Alphonso will come later.
Okay. No, so thank you guys. Great to be here. Sorry I missed last Tuesday, I believe, but I'm always glad and happy to be here, and I look forward to a very informative conversation. So I tried to mimic Moses tonight by wearing the country club stuff, but then
Yeah,
he fooled me. He wearing t-shirt instead. But we'll see.
yeah.
I'll catch him one day.
Yeah, I'll play Calupi on you, my man.
You play Calabria, man. All right, man.
Yeah,
Glad to be here. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It's a pleasure to being here with you guys this evening. I just came in running to make it like any of you guys. This is indeed a full-time commitment from one commitment to another, but it is good to come and talk about the issues that most people are afraid to talk about. We run a platform, a journalistic platform. Ours is not a gossip shop. That's why we don't come here shouting over one another. We come, we do analytical discussion. That will make us different from the others, right, Volcano?
All right. Thank you. Yeah, sure. So it's good to see
Yeah,
all of you here tonight, and let's kick the ball. Our flyer talked about protests and violence in the country. Um, it's just a sad situation for Liberia. I don't know where we are, where we're going. Um, the anticipation was high from last year with the ushering of a new government, and it seemed as though no one is patient, and especially the outgoing government and its supporters. We're not seeing ANC carrying on. We're not seeing NPP carrying on, even though they're in the alliance. We're not seeing Apiton Uno. I know he had party or he was independent. We what happened here? I am.
What? My man, are you begging for us with Abidon for?
I'm just saying, oh, Gonglo too. I don't see the broom coming out and sweeping anything. So why is it? Is this IE and Barrow that the politicians now we're liking it to the IE and Barrow rivalry? Gentlemen, let's just start with this thought first before we start.
And 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 to be honest, Volcano, that strikes me, and I want to go first. I know Moses usually goes
Yeah,
first.
go. Yeah.
But the point you just made about the LPP and the ANC and all of those people, I think is very striking. Our countries are at a critical stage. Unfortunately, those political parties are silent. They're quiet on the things that are going on in the country. I haven't heard the LPP, the ANC, the other political parties speak up about the violence, about the unease, and about the things that are going, especially from the CDC. People jumping in the street because somebody is indicted or arrested or invited, by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. These were political parties and individuals who were arguing the other day that we need accountability, that we need to audit people. Now that the government is doing it, and the people who are being audited are being invited are fighting back, I don't hear those parties taking any position on that. And I think it's unfortunate, and I believe we should talk about it in the hope that they will see reason to get involved and say, "Oh no, Mister CDC, you can't do this." Seeking accountability for monies that were allegedly stolen from the national coffers is something good, and we support the government's initiative in that direction. All we are asking for, it should be fair and it should follow the rule of law. That's what they should be saying. I'm not hearing that from them. Now, in terms of the CDC's own violence, it's just a bunch of people once again trying to fool, the population to follow them. They're being accused. If you didn't steal, that's why we have a justice system. So you go to court and you exonerate yourself. We have we don't have a system where it's only the judge deciding or only the prosecution and the government just grab you and put you in jail. We have a jury system. Citizens of your peers, ordinary citizens, marketers and stuff, will be the jurors. They will be sitting down. They will hear the evidence proffered by the prosecution. They will hear the rebuttal proffered by the defense, and they will render judgment. So every time somebody's arrested for alleged corruption, then they put people in the street to go and demonstrate in black robes and do this. It's a bunch of baloney and nonsense. I'm sure we'll get to that later, so I will not go. I think the police also needs to step up its activities. I think it's reacting too much. There's something in policing called preemption and predictive policing. They need to do that. Like, for example, I saw a picture of, a lot of so-called CDC people, CDC, I shouldn't say so-called, going to the LACC headquarters and blocking roads and doing all kind of nonsense. The police should have been there even before, because the police, this is not the first time. This is not the first time that happened. When it indicted 12 other people and stuff, the CDC people came out. The police should have known that by inviting Miguel, that the CDC is likely that city people will come out. So you go and you preempt them and you
But
put
but
a barricade
but,
even
but
before that happened.
the
And they didn't
honors.
do that, and they were reacting, and some of that leads to some of the problems we have.
But let me strike this point quick.
Yeah.
The honors is also on McGill as a sitting government official. They said, look, there's no need for anyone to come out here. I'm an innocent man. I'm just called for a little bit of questioning. And so nobody should come out here. He should be, but the threat that I'm going to hold press conference, I'm going to do. The man is an instigator as well.
Yes,
Because, and you can't be a part of the government and fight the government.
you are correct. You are 100% correct. But you are asking a guilty man
Yeah,
to do what you're asking him to do. That is the problem.
the
It's
guilty
like,
man will collect another guilty man. So can't be my lawyer.
Oh, man, Lord, if you are jokers, man. But look, I just want to piggyback on what you guys said. I think there is a silent argument. And anyone, Liberians talk about nationalism, they talk about patriotism, love of country. So when you have all these political parties, 2023, these people were all over the place making the case for a stable and peaceful Liberia, making the case for accountability in the country. And like the both of you have said, you have an administration, and let me clearly state that we did not come here to do public relations for the Boaka administration because we don't work for them. We are journalists. We just speak to the core issues like any other person would do. So all these people were all over the place running here and there. Will hold people accountable. Will ensure rule of law. And you have these political parties sitting in the country, passive, saying nothing. People are engaging in acts that have the propensity
of disturbing the peace and stability of the country. You don't hear from Councillor Gonglo. I have never heard from Mr. Cummings. I'm talking about the top fives. Benuna Yuri. You don't hear from them.
So does it solidify the argument then that political parties are only around the eve of elections, meaning when it's closer to elections, that's when they get loud?
Of course, that's when
Wow. So
that's when they become active. Yeah, they
we're going to
get
see four
active.
years of silence or four
Yeah.
years of political sabbatical, and then all of a sudden they come running back
Yeah, we're waiting for 2020 now, my man.
2028.
So yeah, 2028 is start running. So as I was saying, you guys are absolutely right. These people are sitting down, and let me go further on this. I would like to begin with civil society. I have not heard civil society speak. I have not heard the media with those powerful editorials. How many media institutions in Liberia have written editorials frowning on the disruptive behaviors of members of the CDC? I have not seen those editorials. You can write an editorial either you for or you're against. I have not seen that. I have not heard from the Press Union of Liberia, the umbrella organization of media institutions in the country, journalists in the country. I may be wrong, but on a regular basis follow happenings in Liberia. I have not seen a sentence from the PEL. I have not seen a sentence from the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas, ULA. Not a sentence.
Has there been a sentence from Alja?
Oh, Aja has spoken.
Okay.
This is why uh, when I say this thing, people say, oh, because we are part of Aja. But Aja is stepping up to the place. Aja is speaking to the contemporary issues, providing solutions, providing recommendations as to how these problems can be resolved. With the exception of Aja, I have not heard from any diaspora based Liberian organization on any critical happenings in our country.
So Sandy, does it speak to the magnitude of the divisiveness we're talking about? Last week we talked about one of the impediments to recovery for Liberia has to do with the lack of reconciliation and disunity. Alfonso, could you just mute if you're going to be busting palm kernel?
Yeah, but man,
Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, I think to agree with you because people hold this view that oh my man,
Politics have
uh,
totally
yeah,
divided the country.
yeah, the people divided, the country is divided. People say, oh my man, you know what? It is your business. I got nothing to do with that. But they forget to know that if Liberia plunges into any crisis today, the very political parties that they go to sit every day and say it is their business, those party headquarters will never exist
But
because everything will be inflamed.
even we in the diaspora
We will get affected.
seriously affected. Seriously, you know. But
Yeah,
let's go to the clip here quick, Moses, that
sure.
we're talking about with regards to McGill heading to and again we want to give Spoon Network credit because we call this from them. Um where the guy goes there and some money too. The people that ain't got nothing to do but man in our country. Oh man, and I saw be selling the lake coal and Widow Market. They jump out there and they say that they're making noise to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at them.
So the chants emanating from elderly folks, females, young men, and the rest.
And I will pause here, we'll come back to it. But something that is concerning, usually in protests, and we've seen protests here in America, we've seen protests in other places. They don't come and block the gate,
No, you
the
don't.
door, or the fence, or impede the
Yeah.
function of that institution.
No, you don't.
If they were to move this crowd to the other fence and with a back to that fence and looking toward,
The
and that
building.
people can move about, but they are present, they're still listened to.
Mhm.
But they demanded that, I mean, they not rather demanded, but they refused, even when the police came, to remove themselves from the place. They just decided that the place will not function so long McGill is in there. The whole function of the LACC shuts down.
No.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
And supporters of the CDC, supporters of Senator McGill have gathered as well. With his legal counselors as well, and they are currently in the headquarters of the LACC. We do see the Liberia National Police is also responding. The Liberia National Police is also responding here as well with riot police. So the Liberia National Police is responding as well. So, folks, what started off as a very peaceful, uneventful moment is now turning into a confrontation. The police telling them to move forward and leave the main gate of the LACC.
And I heard what the journalist said. What started as a peaceful is now turning into a confrontation. The police presence does not influence confrontation.
Absolutely. They want to
Police
make
presence
peace.
is to
Yeah.
maintain peace and security.
Mhm.
And that's those kinds of way of reporting is tantamount to creating the misinformation that could lead to what we see. Because you're looking clearly that the police is responding, but they have not even engaged
No.
to say now that we have confrontation on our hand. I want both of you from a journalistic perspective, just honing on this, because sometimes in our profession, our descriptive analysis can cause chaos.
They may gotta go on mute, my man. Yeah. Alfonso, you gotta go on mute.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk, Moses. I'll follow you. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, okay. But Volcano, yeah, absolutely. Look, we have a huge problem in our country. In the media, we have brain drain of professional, educated, and experienced journalists.
And he's one of the smart ones with spoon. Is the young man
Yeah,
called Donald
but yeah,
Slanger or
yeah, but
something? But again, people tend to misspeak,
yeah,
and
but
it's scaring. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. The point I'm making is if you're going to send somebody to do commentary, to do an OB, that person need to have a greater command of the English language. And when a journalist sees officers coming, and that is automatically interpreted as people coming to escalate a situation, that's unfortunate. That's a misrepresentation of the truth. These people came because you saw a group of people who show up calling themselves supporters of the CDC. Those people barricaded the entrance. They impeded the movement of people into the offices of the LAC. The officers on the show up to make sure that, hey, that is not doable. We cannot allow this to happen. You need to back off, relocate. Where in the world, like in the United States here, where you and I are the three of us here live, do you see such thing happening? Will you go to say you're going to stage a protest and you impede the movement of people? What do you think the police will do? They will come and clear the area because that is absolutely unacceptable. So you see a journalist who, wrongly, gave a description of the situation. Can you imagine? We watching the video. Now, what's about someone who was just listening to the guy via audio?
That's the danger. That's the danger. So let's continue. Let's continue.
Yes. Mhm.
So, folks, riot police of the LNP responding as well, and some of them are carrying automatic rifles. So they are telling the CDC supporters to remove themselves from the main gates of the LACC.
And I want us to address this because we're going to go segmentally with this conversation. Why is it now that people think that the police bearing arm is wrong when this is part of the dress code and the regalia? In any professional society, the police full dress code comes with a weapon. Now, even though it's AK-47, whether it's pistol, they all can fire and they all can kill. But the man having a gun doesn't mean he's going to use it, except he feels threatened or his life is in danger. Look at what happened with the LDEA. They were not armed, and they jumped them. But you think if they were armed, the talks that jumped them to fight over the drug raid would have done it? I just thought to throw that in. So
Yeah, and let me just piggyback on
yeah,
that. It is good that you cut
Because
down
look
the
at,
channel.
yeah, quickly, because it seems as though this is where all the arguments come in. CDC, they come in with automatic weapons, but the police supposed to have weapons. Not
Again,
because you see the men with faded gray uniform, no baton, they're standing there, the men stop you, you jump, you say, "Man, get out of the way," you drive off, you leaving. You think you can do that to a policeman? He shoot your tire or he start shooting your windshield?
yeah, well,
No. So
what
it's
kind of-
strange to them that the people should have weapons, but normal time we used to see our police with weapons. Go
but
ahead.
again, quickly, if I can just say, it comes back to the point I was making. Police officers carrying weapon is no news because it's just part of policing. You expect somebody going to control crowd or going for crowd control or to contain a situation to go without even a baton, and you're talking about the people have guns. Carrying guns is part of policing. Every security officer carries what? Weapon. So there's nothing to report about that. Why you think those people left? They left because they knew that people in command show up. That's
I
part of
don't think
policing.
they left though. They were there. They were there.
Yeah, yeah, but at least where they were to clear them to some extent.
No, they
Yeah.
stayed. Watch the video.
Okay.
They stayed.
Yeah. So go ahead.
They
Go ahead.
continue. They
Go ahead.
continue.
So, not so kind words being issued as well. So this is turning. So this is what is unfolding now. The police are telling them to remove themselves, and this is what is unfolding here now. So they are saying they will now remove themselves from the gates of the LACC. This is live.
So Moses, this is it, right?
Mhm.
So the defiance of the public,
Yeah.
the defiance of citizens to law enforcement. Let's flip the coin. And River says, Pro, I don't know what he's watching. Where did he come from tonight to say that there was death and all of that? There's been no report of death. It was
There was
just
no death at that place.
it was just
Maybe he's talking about different video. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but the absolute truth is when you challenge authority, there's a repercussion.
Of course.
In this case, the police did nothing, even when more police came, because they saw the citizens. They saw the citizens who were being intransigent, who were being defiant, but in the same token, they were not, trunking rocks at them. They were not banging on the gate. They were not doing anything. They were still chanting and doing the stuff. The only thing that they didn't do was to remove themselves from the gate so that the people could operate and have a free flow. Um, what if
So
it's, I was going to say, what if if it's a situation that is flipped and the police doesn't show up? Then what would they say? Oh,
They
the
say
police didn't come.
the police didn't come.
You
I
know,
think the police, yes, you're right. Those guys broke the law clearly. They blocked the entrance of the LSCC, therefore prevented the functioning of the LSCC. They created fear in members of the LSCC and other people who wanted to go into the LSCC. That's a violation of the law. Um, so that's one element. The other element, I'll come back to that first element. The other element is that again, I mentioned the issue of preemption in policing, surveillance and preemption. That's why I believe the police made a blunder. When the 3 or 4 government officials were indicted and sent to court, CDC supporters did something similar. The police should therefore understand and preempt that if we call the former chairman of the CDC, the former minister of state for presidential affairs of the CDC, it's likely, it's a possibility that the same CDC hooligans will show up. Therefore, let's do this. Let's preempt them. Let's go and build a barrier in front of the LACC. Let's say we put a yellow line or yellow tape or whatever. You can cross this, you can stand over there. Maybe part of what happened could have been eliminated.
absolutely.
The police seems to always be responding instead of being proactive and preventing. And that is a problem that I think the police needs to address. Because when you go to remove people, there's friction. It's better to prevent than to go remove. And I hope they learn that. The same thing happened with the same CDC people going to the headquarters, and police is not around, and it spilled into the streets and blocking traffic. Police needs to preempt and prevent. That's the first thing. The police also, unfortunately, has not announced any arrest of those people who went barricaded the LSCC headquarters. To me,
The
they're
show,
encouraged.
the very spokesman called himself
Yes,
acting youth chairman or something.
youth chairman is right there and speaking, and he's walking around and he's on video, and the police has done nothing. You are encouraging these people to continue to do these things. This is not the first time. Akara Gray was walking around yesterday and parading the streets and blocking traffic and going to question police people and all of that. Until the police begins to enforce the law, until Liberia begins to enforce the law, we are giving these hooligans a license to continue to disrupt other people's lives and to cause fear in that country and to undermine the country's economy. I can tell you today, the motive of the CDC is twofold: to prevent their members being held accountable and to obstruct this government to the point that the economy, that investors don't come in the country. They want to create chaos. So investors will say there's unease, there's chaos, we can't invest. That is the twin motive.
And then they'll make the kids that, oh, the
And
government
the
state
government is failing.
nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And until the government sees that and put its foot on the ground, we'll have these nonsense people running around the streets and disrupting people's lives. Market women who's supposed to take their market to the market can't go because these children are blocking streets and roads, causing tension in the country, and people are staying home. I believe the police is failing in this regard. People should be in jail by now for abusing other people's right, for disrupting the peace. The law exists.
Do you think, Moses, then in this case, the government's budget for security should be increased
Of course.
exponentially, especially for the police? Because here in America, the police is the first line of defense. They're to serve, to protect. And if we have our police undermanned, if we have our police not logistically supported, then they will be all wrong. And that is why the disregard for their presence appears to be so existential, to the point that nobody wants to respect the police. And
Yeah.
especially when you have a political institution that is so defiant to the police presence. And not to say it is the leadership. Let's get it right, right? But when the leadership fails to speak within the context of law abiding, then I have a problem. And we'll go to Jefferson Koji. We'll go to
But
Jefferson Koji, who
mhm.
is supposed to be one of the main voices in the CDC, continue to defy and threaten. What do you make of all that?
But look, let me just say this before we even get to Koji. Like the two of you have said, we see an orchestration. We see a ploy orchestrated by Mr. Weah himself, to ensure that nothing works in the country. You heard him say that we will resist. You heard the former president say that. So these people are basically executing what Mr. Weah told them to do. That look, do everything you can to obstruct the enforcement of the rule of law in the country, and that's what happening. You know, uh, I also agree that look, in order to sustain the peace, to maintain the peace, you cannot do that with a police that is underfunded. The police, not the national security as a whole, should be priority number one. You need a police that is armed, that has vehicles for responding to crisis. You need a police that is well dressed. You need a police that is well paid. In the absence of that, take for example the situation with the officers from the Drug Enforcement Agency. Ordinary people overpower them because why? They went without batons. How do you go to raid people when you don't even have batons? You're endangering your safety. You're going after hardened criminals. You're going to 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 repel a protest, and you show up without batons. You have all these hardened criminals recruited by Nathaniel McGill, recruited by George Weah, recruited by other criminals in the CDC, and all these people showing up, and you think you will just show up like that? You saw the other gentleman standing in front of the officer saying that, oh, shoot me. What are you talking about? Can you do that in the United States? You would be dead. You know, this country cannot be a law. I mean, people in Liberia cannot be law unto themselves. And Volcano, just give me a few seconds. Let me help people understand the context from which we are coming regarding this Nathaniel McGill situation. The LSCC invited McGill because when he was Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, he gave a directive for the creation of a supplementary payroll. On that payroll, they had 728 people. McGill and his people were accused of what? Payroll party, meaning that they had too many ghost names. They manipulated the payroll system. People inflected numbers. They spent over $2.6 million. So the GSC did an audit. Something stood out. They said, Maggie, come and answer question. Mr. Maggie, if you knew that you had done nothing wrong, why are you so jittery? Why are you so troubled? Why are you so worried? Why did you send to Nuclear, West Point, Slipway, Sunnywen to bring those illiterate and unfair women to the LACC headquarters? Why? You know you have done nothing wrong. You know? I mean, this is sad.
And if I may add, Miguel, lest we forget, one of the reasons why the U.S. government placed sanctions on Miguel was because, according to them, he was recruiting warlords and thugs to go after political opponents and to undermine the peace of the country. One of the reasons why the US government also sanctioned Jefferson Koji is because he was recruiting warlords and thugs to undermine the peace of the country. So this is not different. This is something these guys have been doing, and they are continuing to do that. Go back and read the U.S. sanctions
Yeah, right there.
statement. That's exactly it's one of the
That's what
reasons
they're
why.
doing. Yeah.
In fact, Koji and Miguel got, and Moses is correct. Once we had that press conference after those 3 or 4 government officials, including two, were indicted and say you don't undermine you're
Yeah.
undermining the peace if you come
Yeah.
after us for corruption.
We
The
resist.
God,
Mm-hmm.
they were giving marching orders to do what they're
Yeah,
doing now.
that's what they're doing. Mm-hmm.
Let's disrupt. Let's do everything we can do to make sure that these people don't prosecute us, that don't come after us. They are the governing authority. If they want to come after us, let's make sure that the city, the country is ungovernable. Let's create chaos. That's what they're
Yeah.
doing. It's calculated. It's
Mm-hmm.
well planned. And that is why I think that the Liberia National Police and the National Security Apparatus needs to understand and respond accordingly. And it's my view that they are now responding accordingly. That we have laws on our books that say people who incite and instigate violence or instigate and incite situations that lead to injury or death or destruction of property can be held accountable under the law.
Of course.
People who go and just illegally block traffic or the free flow of people and throw stones and hurt people can be held accountable.
So let's come in quick, man, because this
Yes.
stuff just seems like it's a pendulum just swinging. Let's kind of think about the role of Samuel Kofi Woods,
Mm-hmm.
who is the National Security Advisor. Where does he stand with regards to bringing all of the security apparatuses in the country to say, listen, this thing is brewing, is and you know tension is brewing. Tension is brewing because these guys are talking with defiance. They're not even mincing, they're not even being politically euphemistic. They're just being radically defiance.
Of course.
So how long should we sit there, like we talked about, some of the institutions that should be coming out and denouncing this kind of behavior and asking the political heads of this political party to hold the partisans accountable and to be aware that anything goes contrary, they would be held liable. We don't see this happening. So where's the national security apparatus is coming together and say, like you said, Alphonso, part of that preemptive preparation, so that the one yesterday, if the next one will be even worse than that.
Of course.
And let me say, yes, definitely national security advisor should be involved in this process. But the national security advisor advises the president. National security advisor does not run the security apparatus. So what a national security advisor role, as I've read, because it's actually created by an act of the national legislature in Liberia, and I also read the act creating the national
I'm sure
security.
he's sitting in the room.
So yes,
Yeah,
so
you
what
got.
you do is you get reports from the national different agencies,
Mhm.
and then you
It's easy.
analyze them and you advise the principal, which is the president. You also have a national security council. So you have the conversation within the security council, and the security council advises the principal, which is the president, as to what you all think should be happening. So definitely there's a role for the National Security Advisor and the National Security Council. But our role is
Adversarial.
adversarial.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where I think the challenge is here is the Justice Ministry, because the Minister of Justice is the head of national
Yeah,
security.
Attorney General. Yeah.
Attorney General, national security. So the NSA, the police, the LDA,
All of them
everybody,
under justice.
they all fall under the Ministry of Justice. So the Ministry of Justice carries a heavier burden and responsibility here when it comes to coordinating the national security apparatus of the country, not the national security advisor, because by law they don't listen. They don't have to take directives from the national security advisor because he's just an advisor to the president. Um, the but the justice, and I think, I mean, we can go deeper into that in terms
I
of
think
what I think the justice ministry should be doing. That is not. I don't see it doing. Maybe it's doing it, but the justice ministry should really put his foot down and said, this is what we see, this is what will happen. There's intelligence we're getting, and we act on this intelligence and do this and do that. Law enforcement, policing, everything that the security does relies, I would say, 40-50% on intelligence. Once you have intelligence, you're able to preempt people. You're able to know what people want to do, about to do. You're able to get into them in something. Maybe that's one place they're lacking. Get intelligence and act on intelligence, but also take action. Take action and have some people arrested. Deterrence is one of the biggest tools in the toolbox of law enforcement. And that's, unfortunately, is not happening. I don't know whether it's based upon fear or timidity. When we arrest the person will do that, there will be more confusion. There will do that. So, but then you're going on a slippery slope, or allowing people just doing whatever they want to do and breaking the law. So if Moses does it every day, what made you think Volcano can say, oh, but Moses can you eat it food every day? Why I come and eat it too? Then Alphonso can, well, in fact, I will eat more. Then Peter can, I will eat it, I will drink the beer. Then problem coming into the country. So I think the national security institution needs to act, and act real quickly.
All right, let me go to this clip quick, so we can talk about it quick. Look at him, man. Akaro's great. He look like even he represented. You know,
Man, looking at Zogo.
That's why they defeated the man.
Send homage to those innocent souls that lost their life today.
so the man said, innocent souls lost their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows love that he wants Sam homage. Like, what's the idiot? I want to say homage.
How do you say homage to
Sam homage
someone?
to innocence. Whatever.
You who lost their life.
The boy let us speak English, and he knew enough from Britain. Let's go.
Many informed information on our domain suggests that scores
Yeah, my
of
man, I
citizens
looking at Zogo.
have been incarcerated.
The man used the word schools, and schools has been loosely used in Liberia. Even journalists, everything is schools. Schools,
Schools. I don't know why they even know what schools means.
schools. Yeah.
Yeah.
He saying thousands of people have been incarcerated. Where? We have the prison system because
Yeah, where's the evidence?
schools. All right, let's continue.
Have been deathly wounded and also been murdered.
Where's the evidence?
Scores of people being murdered.
Yeah, where's the evidence, Jefferson?
Scores of people being murdered. Scores of people being
What are you
incarcerated.
talking about when you
Scores
say
of
school?
people being wounded. Damn it. What?
The guys can inflict the truth,
But not even inflict the truth. The man just speaking out of his mind. He
Not
doesn't,
inflating the truth. You're right. For Canada, man's talking out of ignorance.
he doesn't know what schools mean.
Ignorance.
We have dispatched a
Not
delegation
human being supposed to be a national
ascertain
opinion leader.
for details surrounding those individuals. I want to say to you, on behalf of our party and its leadership, that the CDC as an institution has tried its best to consolidate and sustain and maintain this piece of our country. But Mr. Walker is determined. He's determined with utter recklessness to destroy the hard-earned 21 years uninterrupted peace of our country. Nobody can show here in terms of credentials and action more than what the CDC have done over the period of time to sustain and maintain this peace. But be not mistaken.
Volcano, I beg you. Can you go back? He said no one can show what the citizenship.
He said credential.
Yeah?
No
No
one.
one can show credential what the CDC has done to maintain the peace.
Yeah.
He's saying he contracted himself. No one can show credential what the CDC has done to maintain peace. I just want to pay attention. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but I'll forget a guy quickly, right? The guy used the word credential. Is he talking about evidence or he's talking
document.
about
That's what he means. To bring it. Yeah, that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
The CDC tolerance
The
is not
most-
weakness.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
We have come to say categorically clear that tomorrow there is an emergency meeting and we will declare to Bwaka. After our meeting, we instruct our citizens in 2 dimensions to avail themselves so that Bwaka can murder them. So if Bwaka fail to murder them, they'll be instructed to protect themselves.
So if Baka fails to murder them, then they will be instructed to protect
To
themselves.
protect themselves.
So
Yeah.
why would they be protecting themselves from?
If they didn't murder them. What type of English is man speaking? What type of message is he trying to send?
My man, is just an idiot.
Akaros Gray, who should be even smarter than the man standing there looking at Zogo.
They're looking at Sogo, man. Let's just says muzzle. Akara looks like a Zogo, man. Yeah.
I want to say to you that today, what transpired here, it will be the first and the last.
Isn't that a threatening statement?
Of course it is.
Continue.
We keep aligning so that the world can know, categorically clear. A sedition mean well for this country. 12 years in opposition to maintain the peace. 6 years in government to maintain the peace. It was only the Unity Party regime that people were murdered here. Want to say to the 102, we want to say to 102, you were successful 2 decades ago. You murdered our people right here. And today, Baka has rewarded you. We are aware that you have arms to protect yourself. But we will avail ourselves to you very soon. So you can have an opportunity to steal more of us. We have been declared as public enemies to each and every citizen.
Isn't that a serious threat again?
Of course.
That he threatening the 102 and he's public enemy to every sedition? And
the man should be arrested.
So they go arrest where he need Majabate and the man still passing around. All right,
no, Mike is in court.
No, I just
out on bail, yeah.
No, I just need something though.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you see, we are not comfortable with the police across our party headquarters. Yes. True. We understand there is a planned invasion tonight. Yes, sir. But let the police be aware. Yes, sir. We will sleep here tonight. Yes, sir. Let the police be aware. We will do everything in our means to have ourselves protected. Mr. Bwaka is practically trying to exhibit the lack of governance. Let the people be aware. Find the issues of this country. Solve the bread and butter issues of the Liberian people. Then in September, school fee is an issue. Then in September, food is an issue. Armed robbers are visiting people in green zones. Security is an issue. You've been paid to deliver services. Service delivery is an obligation. It's a constitutional obligation. The CDC mean no harm. Stop this utter provocation. To come here and spill blood here, I can assure you, this is not situation we're taking lightly. All seditions, each and every sedition, honor my voice, honor our leadership. Do not take any action in your hand. We have fully prepared our leadership. We will leave you very soon. After tomorrow National Executive Committee meeting, the political leader will be here. He will preside over our meeting. And after that, there will be a determination. There will be clear instruction given. We want to say to you, you should remain very kind. The situation is temporarily under control. We are coordinating with our international partners. We are coordinating with our country's coordinators and country chairperson around the 15 political subdivisions. The situation in Monrovia, the situation in Masolado is not only Masolado. We have a trickle-down effect. Waka must not push us. Lack what it takes to contain us. We come back to him. Thank you so much.
So, gentlemen, yeah. And it's necessary to have this kind of conversation. Because look at Carlos Gray just the other day.
Yeah.
It looked like Koji kept more money. He didn't get married in France. So he got more money. He's still looking a little cleaner.
Yeah, my man. I can't great going back to Basil.
So
Man looks like a Zogo, my man.
when you make all of this stuff, this guy say, even though incoherent, but for the most part, what did you gather? Isn't this a serious threat?
It's a significant threat.
Another mean he's telling you people to be calm, and at the national level, they're deciding what to do. They're coming back in a day. But this is what we're talking about when we think that and again, when we talked the other day about the country is damaged, this is not image building for our country. You have a president who is here in the U.S. meeting with Black caucus, Black business people. I saw his speech. He talked about the electricity. He talked about tourism. He talked about a lot of the things that Liberia is open for business. He closed on saying that Pan American Airlines used to leave from JFK to Monrovia in 8 hours. Can we get that happening again? These kinds of things are the kind of messages that's supposed to be out there soliciting. But you have people on the grounds, and the one little boulevard we have, gentlemen, the one little boulevard that we have, this poor boulevard continue to suffer. I don't know what's wrong with these people and they want the boulevard. Who told these people to go build headquarters right on the last little boulevard we have here? And let me show this one quickly, then you guys come in. Again, we utilizing this video from Spoon Television, so we just want to give them the credit. But look at that prison compound. What's this? That the people are so inherit the country.
So, folks, we are coming to you live from the just around the CDC party headquarters in Congo Town. This is Spoon TV with me, Sylvester Chirople. So, the officers of the Liberia National Police continue to be posted in protecting lives and property.
So interestingly, the lives of the people went in there and raided the compound, but yet the people outside, the people who went probably in the compound were the LDA people, and they muscled them, they beat them up, hurt some of them, and that's why the police came to kind of quell, the situation. And so now they're keeping themselves behind the fence, and the police are there. So why all of this different stories here, how the police went there and killed people at Jefferson Koji, scores of people have been killed, have been wounded, and have been incarcerated. Is this the image we want to see for our country? Our young people who should be preparing themselves for future leadership, they're just languaging here. I mean, gentlemen, man, this is sad.
Let me just say something about the video, right? If you look in our crowd, did you see any of our Natana McGill children there? Did you see any of the Weas in our crowd? Did you see Jefferson Koji, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles in our crowd? Did you see Akara's grave family members in our crowd? Did you see Fanatic Kofa children in our crowd? Did you see Thomas Fowler children in our crowd? You see what these people do? They use our people as objects. They use poverty as a weapon to dehumanize our people. They use them as objects. They went to West Point, mobilized the poor, gave them few dollars. George Weah is at home relaxing. He and his family were at home, maybe watching soccer, listening to music, while those hungry people were over there, literally endangering their safety. You see how self centered these people are? And these are the people who call themselves nationalists. Watch the video. Don't they know their Zogos? All these people look like hungry people. They just went to the very ghettos, grabbed and gave them a few dollars. Stolen wealth. They say, oh yeah, let's show up. You ask any of them, why are you protesting? Why are you endangering yourself? They won't be able to tell you, Volcano. They won't. They don't have the ability to do the analytical thinking. Only because somebody says, oh, my man, the people are against us. They're acting on what we call peer pressure. Some of them under the influence of alcohol. Some of them under the influence of drugs. Some of them influenced by few dollars. Let me stop there and give it to you guys.
Well, if you just joining us, this is the Issues Room, our 256 broadcast. We just passed a little after 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the U.S. We're broadcasting on the East Coast. Volcano, Shelton, Alphonso, and Moses Sandy. We're here Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11 p.m. in Liberia, or those countries within the Greenwich time zone. However, we said we'll be going one broadcast a week starting September 15th. If you're looking at the running board under there, you see Sunday, September 15th, 3 p.m. We'll be going once a week. Again, we are brainstorming to see what is feasible for us to be able to really continue the podcast. And we also hopefully want to be able to engage the Liberian audience and find some kind of way to get the message across, because the time in Liberia is 11. Right now it's midnight there, and more people might be sleeping at this time of the night. So if we went in the day, hopefully that will help people to gain the message. So again, we don't have much time here with Tuesday and Friday, so 7 p.m. and Tuesday, Friday will be no more on September 15th, which is a Sunday, when we go live at 3 p.m. So Adia Umo, welcome back, and hopefully you will be up by that time. I don't know what the time will be like in Australia. Christopher Wester, of course, and the rest of you, Hashin Fambule, Boima, Kiadi, thank you for joining us here tonight. We also say thank you to Hamilton Zilli for coming through. Vitus Shelton, thank you for joining us as well. Rivers Pro, of course, always good to hear from you. Raymond Clark and Manu Sumo, thank you for coming in tonight. Journalist Samuel Flomo Jr., it's a pleasure having you in the house. Gentlemen, the conversation here, violence, is it a way to have your concerns addressed and all of this protests? One of the things I thought that protests should have been where you get clearance, you get police protection, and then you do your protest. But it doesn't seem that they're doing that. It just appears that bunch of people just gather and just make noise and barricade the area and cause chaos.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, what you say, Alfonso?
So if they go into their party headquarters, they slam their gate, they stay there and make noise all day, that is their business.
No, I'm not talking. When I
No,
say
I'm coming.
yeah, yeah, just wanted to say when I said protest, I mean anywhere where
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
impede progress. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. No, you're right. I got you. I was just laying the
Okay,
foundation to
go
get
ahead.
to that
Go
point.
ahead.
Yeah. So if they go in the party headquarters to close their gate, that they just make noise, they sing, they cook their food, they eat it, they cause friend in their business. In their party headquarters, while they're there singing and dancing, if the police has any reason to believe that a crime is being committed there, somebody crying say, "You come for me, oh, they killing me, they beating me, they whatever." If police has a reason, a reasonable suspicion to believe that something's happening there, even though it is their property, police has a right to go in there and something. I wanted to begin from here because they have been making that argument. It is our party. I go there, police can come there, police can do the whatever. If police, the role of the police, the job of the police is to protect lives and property. So you in your house and you're fighting, boo, 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 the things are bouncing up and down, somebody crying. Police has a right to come
Yeah,
in
to
there,
go in there. Yeah.
even though it is your home. So that nonsense argument they're making is our CDC headquarters, we can come there, is notwithstanding. That's the first thing. I just wanted to begin from there. Now, going to protesting, jumping in the streets, blocking the major route in the country, throwing stones, setting roadblocks, is a violation of the law. People should be arrested and sent to jail. That is illegal. Going to the LACC and barricading the people. First of all, you can be charged with imprisoning the people who are in that building. Force imprisonment of the people who are in that building, say you're not getting out of because we are here. That you can be charged with force. Preventing people from going in and out. You are preventing a government institution from
From functioning.
performing
Hmm.
its legal obligations. That is a crime that it can be charged with. So again, just bouncing up and disrupting people and blocking traffic and going to offices and barricading them and saying nobody leaving, nobody coming out, and all of those things and fighting with police officers, those are violations of the law. So yes, to answer your question directly, they are breaking the law. The other law they're breaking is incitement.
Yes.
When you incite people to violence, it is a crime. Incitement is not even the crime that is committed when you incite them. Just the fact that you incite them, like Koji was saying,
Yeah, go
go
ahead.
and move, will not be perturbed, will not do this. Like what they did when the people jump in the street and start blocking the thing. Their statements, their actions made the people to go in the street and block traffic and throw stones at people where LDEA officers were injured.
Hmm.
These people can be held liable under the law
Okay.
of the Republic of Liberia. Unfortunately, the Liberian police force, the Justice Ministry, I haven't heard anything from them. My fear is if we allow these hooligans to continue with this kind of action, what's there to stop them from doing it again tomorrow? We all heard Koji saying the meeting and the political leader, which is Mr. Weah, will preside
Yeah,
over the
we're
meeting and they
preserved.
will give marching orders as to what they should do, and then they will go and take action. Who knows what they're going to tell them to do?
Yeah, yeah.
Just even if they don't do anything, they've already instilled fear in the population.
Hmm.
Volcano, you mentioned that the president, and we all know that the president is in Georgia, the United States of America, looking for investors. They see these videos, they see these reports. The people don't put money in their pocket and take their 1 million, 2 million, and carry and say, "Let me invest in Liberia." No, they go to the banks and take loans. They go to their colleagues and they combine money to go. If they don't see a secure climate in which to invest their money, they're not going to do that. the country suffers, the citizens suffer. But guess what? That's the CDC's goal. Let's do all we can to make this country appear ungovernable so investment can come, so this government can fail. So we can say, yeah, the NLC, we told you. That's what's happening. And that's why I keep saying tonight, this government need to put its foot on the ground and correct this. And go after these corrupt people, regardless of how many children they put in the street. In fact, if I were them, those children that were in the street, I would arrest some of them and put them in jail. So the next time when they go to West Point to go grab some children, the children will say, and I'm going because they'll put me in jail. I ain't get a lawyer to go bail me out. When you do it 2-3 times, when the people go to them, they will have a second thought. That's simply what deterrence is in law enforcement.
Yeah, right. Volcano, if I can just say something. Look, President Boakai, the Minister of Justice, the Director of Police, and other heads of the various security institutions in the country. You cannot sit back, and we're not asking you to become dictators. If you're going to lead, you have to hold people accountable. They got to build rule of law in our country. Like what we saw happening at the LACC headquarters. All those people, like Volcano, like Alphonso said, those ladies who barricaded the entrance of that place, those young men that were chanting slogans, all of those people should have been run up, charged, and thrown into prison for invasion, for stopping, for undermining the operation of a government entity. There are so many legal charges that the police could have, fire on those guys. But everybody is afraid. Oh, can you imagine police officers standing and looking at people, literally stopping others from entering the office of the LACC? Police officers standing up in front of the headquarters of the CDC, and they're allowing people to throw stones at them. Nobody wants to do anything. Later on, before they started to enforce the law, the right to free assembly doesn't mean that you should impede the movement of other people. You should destroy.
We have someone on the line.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, welcome. Your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Hashin Family calling from Arlington, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, welcome. I'm sure you're following the conversation. What's going on?
Yeah, my concern is I saw those videos and people that we say they are mothers, they over there, they don't even have a good living condition. Then they allow those people to put them in the streets to be talking. The food said they don't have to eat. The past 6 years they've been suffering. People trying to put things together for them. Then they follow beyond Jefferson Coaching. They are children in America, Nathaniel Market children, they will not be in the street to come and disturb over there. I'm so sorry for our country. In this type of time, the people, Joseph Boakai trying hard to do well in our country. Then they're there because they want for the government to fail, and they will tell the people, "Oh, y'all see that? That's what we told you." It's so frustrating. People that are scattered grading. I'm so sorry for our country. We just pray that our country will be better one day, because we will not come and stay in a country and live our rest of our life here and get all in America here. We have to go back home. So it's so disheartening. Our country always stand this one CDC government, when they move from in power, they go back, they only go in opposition. No good plan. We are there sitting on his son playing football. You will not see all the things that happening where his son will not come like pro to come and join it. Our brothers are so stupid, they are so limited.
Yeah.
They are so limited. Because since I was in Liberia, one day I never if I support a party, I don't go campaign for nobody. I sit down. The day I want to go, the voting time, I go and vote for that party. I will not be in the
I
street.
remember it. That's
I will
just
not be
how
in
I
the street.
remember it. That's just how I remember it. The only time we came outside that when it was time to vote. In fact, I'm not big enough to vote. Sir, I never voted in any election in Liberia except the '97 election with Charles Taylor.
We chat it up.
Yeah,
That's the time me
that's
I
the first
voted.
time I voted.
Yeah, that's the time we all voted. Yeah.
Because
It's so
the
disheartening.
1985 election, I'm not growing enough to vote.
We're not allowed.
So,
Then
brother, we
Then Bobby has said the
serious
article.
problem.
He there say peace ambassador. What kind of peace ambassador? Where?
Now
That's
who?
why I told somebody I
Georgia.
wish government take him
Oh.
to power because he lavish his money. He do have nowhere to end the air. So Samuel Chuene, they pushing, they say they're pushing. That goes so against steal. Thank you for the show. Yeah, thank you for the show, big brother.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Fumble. It's a pleasure having you here. But Moses, I wanted to go to something quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we talked about condemnation and we talked about people who are silent. We have the Mano River Youth Parliament, Liberia's chapter, demanding independent investigation over the riot. So I just wanted to bring them in.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we can hear what they're asking or demanding. And everybody got small juice. So let's hear the man.
Winter jacket.
Let me.
Oh, sorry. That's not where I wanted to
Population
go.
Liberia is the representative of the ELBC.
Is that the statement?
Report 231, Crown FM, Joy FM, DVT Online, Executive Liberia TV, OKFM. We say you are welcome and we appreciate your effort to use you always to speak to our population. Thank you so much. We now move quickly to what we are here for. My name is Daniel N. Nails, the Speaker of the 4th Monrovia Youth Parliament. And it reads, Monrovia, Republic of Liberia, today, August 23rd, 2024. Press statement for immediate release. Monrovia Youth Parliament Liberia chapter condemns August 22nd, 2024 fracas between state securities and people believed to be supporters of the Congress for Democratic Change, CDC. The Monrovia Youth Parliament Liberia chapter frowns at recent clashes between officers of the Liberian National Police and people believed to be supporters of the Congress for Democratic Change and call for a speedy and impartial investigation into the matter. The citizens and commuters of the Tokyo Boulevard wake up to a strange reality of clashes between the Liberian National Police and people believed to be partisans of the Congress of Democratic Change, which prevented normal businesses and the movement of people for several hours. To gather information concerning the root cause of the clashes, the Parliament managed to speak separately with the parties involved, including the media. From the side of the police, we gathered information that in the early morning hours of Thursday, August 22nd, 2024, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA, upon receiving an intel, extended its operation at the back of the compound that hosts the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change, which they were chased out from performing their duty by people believed to be partisans of the CDC. And in addition to the disruptions of the DEA operation, people believed to be supporters of the CDC set major roadblocks at its headquarters and other areas as well, something that prompted the police to move in quickly to restore calm, which resulted to the throwing of stones and firing of tear gas. On that note, on the other hand, the CDC has alleged
that upon waking up in the early morning of Thursday, its headquarters had already been besieged by officers of the DEA for no reason, something they termed as highly provocative that triggered their action to defend their headquarters. Members of the media, in our fact-finding approach regarding the issue, we also managed to speak to some members of the media in person, and their accounts are similar to the account gathered from the police. It is therefore predicated upon these testimonies that we join our voices in calling for a speedy, independent, and impartial investigation to establish the true nature of what necessitated the riot. Following the five-pound venture, we was it was established that both the police and partisans of the CDC sustained injury, but nothing short as death has been reported so far. On this note, we laud the Liberia National Police for maintaining a professional standard of reacting to the riot maturely. To our fellow citizens, we cannot ignore the importance of a peaceful protest as it is an essential tenet of democracy that aims to call the attention of the power that be to action. We support the right of every citizen to protect. Such right must be exercised with caution, especially so reflecting the dark days of our country's history, which were necessitated by a violent protest that escalated to a classic explosion, which resulted to the life of many citizens, displacement of huge portion of our population, and as well broke every developmental fabric of our country.
So
Yeah.
I think good stuff here.
Yeah.
There's clarity for our man River says Pro.
Mhm.
Nobody died. Jefferson Koji lied. Scores of people were not killed. Okay. Well,
Those were people were not wounded.
there were wounds, but not scores of people.
Not schools. Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure scores of people were incarcerated. Had it been so, he
The
wouldn't
whole
have come out.
CDC party headquarters would have been empty by now.
See, he wouldn't have come out today
Yeah.
to make his assertion. But what do you make of this? At least some good clarity has been brought to both to inform our people because people are going with the belief that the police were brutal, and we saw that the DEA said the CDC people felt that because they were within the vicinity, not in the compound, but
Yeah, the
within the
vicinity.
vicinity.
Yeah. Of the
And I tell
CDC
you, Moses,
headquarters.
you haven't been to Liberia for a long, long time. I'm not sure if Alfonso knows, but behind the CDC headquarters, there's a whole town back there. Squatters, because it's closer to the beach. They just squat on the people land, build makeshift shelters, and that what going on. And those kinds of places are drug
Infested. Mm-hmm.
infested areas, and they're under the canopy of the CDC. Because if you're hiding behind the CDC and the CDC is so radicalized that they law unto themselves, then what do you think? That's your safe haven.
Of course.
Yeah, I think that organization did a very good job. I mean, that's the first and only statement I've heard so far regarding these incidents. So they did a very good job. They must be commended. Um, I think though that this issue is a law enforcement issue, and it doesn't require any independent investigation of anything. The facts are clear.
Very good.
The facts are clear. It's a law enforcement issue. The people who were throwing stones at police and blocking the highway should be arrested and prosecuted.
And the videos are all out there.
The videos are there.
Yeah. Very easy.
It's a law. So you set up a commission of what to do what? I think that's where I kind of disagree a little bit
Yeah, I
with
mean,
them.
no commission.
Even their own investigation has established what the police has said. They said the journalists who were on the scene told them that. The police told them that. CDC even said that the CDC didn't even claim that the police went into their compound, only that police were in the vicinity of their compound. So being in the vicinity, you don't own the vicinity of your compound.
Hmm.
So there's no law that said police shouldn't be in the vicinity of your compound. So it's clear that the facts have already been established in this matter. The CDC people jumped out of their fence, attacked the LDA officers, and then went in black rose and threw stones and injured people. And with the videos that are available, the police must go after people and arrest them and prosecute them and send them to court and let them go to court and exonerate themselves. So we do not need an independent, quote unquote, independent investigation in this thing. We can't set a commission to investigate everything. I think what Ross Perot, former U.S. candidate for president, who said, and I quote, "If you see a snake, kill it. You don't have to set a commission on snakes to investigate what the snake doing there. But thanks to that commission, for that commission finish investigating why the snake doing.
Let's go on, man.
If we gone already or if it's wetting somebody. When
Yeah.
you see a snake, kill it. You don't need a commission on snakes. A snake is dangerous, kill it. These people are criminals. They violated the law. Hold them accountable. If you do not, you are encouraging more criminals. That's my position on that.
Thank you.
But
Moses, your,
yeah, quickly, let me just say this,
I was
right?
your last thought because it's 8:30.
Yeah,
Your last
yeah. This is what I would like to say. Look, the CDC party headquarters cannot be a breeding ground for acts of gangsterism in Liberia. Anything that has to do with gangsterism emanates from the headquarters of the CDC. We saw the protest by the quote unquote former EPS officers. We saw how that ended. Yesterday, we saw this one. Look, the government version of the story is that a search and seizure warrant was issued to the LDEA because they had gotten intelligence that a private individual in that community, the surrounding of the party headquarters, had brought in drugs. So the guys went to effect that. When they went, the community dwellers put up stiff resistance. In the wake of that, the CDC people took to the street and they started burning tires and all of those things. Look, President Boaka, this is my appeal to you. Like I said earlier, I'm not asking you to be a dictator, but you have to lead. And you can lead by holding people accountable. The Minister of Justice, the Director of Police, and all security institutions, you guys have to enforce the laws of the country without fear and favor. If Moses Sandy is in the wrong, then Moses Sandy bear the full weight. If it is Volcano Shelton, Alphonso, if we are in the wrong, hold us accountable. You can't have a bunch of, gangsters just making the country ungovernable. What we saw happen yesterday, I always miss Mr. Taylor, man. You think that nonsense would have happened Taylor Town? Charles Taylor would be president of the Republic of Liberia and a bunch of idiots would get in the street and start throwing stones at officers? President Barker, you need to step up, man. Yeah, that's how I'd like to end it.
Thank you. Listen, man, and calling Charles Taylor name doesn't mean that you are supporting a form of
No.
law.
Yeah,
But he was a civilian president,
a
and
civilian president.
he
He was in charge of things,
he had
man.
to meeting here on a piece,
Yeah.
Um, so for Waka to continue. He need to do what he has to do to also contain or sustain his peace.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, gentlemen, the fact here is, I don't know where we've come from. When you think that people will say, "Hey, God, all our friends then going ahead of also, why we just continue to be so backwards to the point that everything now that fight, everything now that protest, everything now that violence? When can you say, let's join the people and work together for the common good of our country? What more do you want, Mr. Weir? The football career you had, the money you made in these 6 years is not compared to anything in more than 20,000 times of what you've gathered now. Who in this world can see that Matana McGill, that big criminal that he stole from the Liberian people, his lifestyle in 6 years? Who can see it? Who can see that Amara Kone stole from the Liberian people? Let's call some people need from the Ellen government. Who can see it? Let Tosso. Who can see it? Who can see that Samuel Tua stole from the Liberian people? Who cannot see it? You need to go to the moon? Who cannot see it? The lifestyle these guys are living. Samuel Tua, in all his life, could he sustain a livelihood in the Ivory Coast, in a foreign nation? Could he? Many of the other guys who Ellen took to Liberia and became rich overnight to her own son. So this is not about CDC. This is about the bad people who've done bad to that country. This is about all the bad people who stole from that country, who we knew had barely nothing, and today they're sitting pretty as millionaires within the short span of government service. Government service. The biggest employer in our country is government. People say they're leaving the 20,000 job here in the diaspora to go to Liberia to work for 2005. What a contrast. What? I mean, so if you're going there to work for 2005, then you have an ulterior motive.
Yeah, of course, you have some plan, my man.
You understand me? How can you live your lucrative lifestyle? How
I
can
go
you
work for 2G.
how can you leave your global job and you go to Liberia to settle for $3,000 salary a month that is sporadic? Then you went there to steal.
Of course.
So, gentlemen, this thing here is not about one person from the CDC, two people from the CDC, three people from the CDC. This thing is about all the people who stole from Liberia since 2005. Because one of the big ones that stole from the country is in a 6x6 jail in England. But the people from, you think Benada Europe supposed to go free? We can call Benada Europe need to. We can call Edwin Snow need to. Because they're under the canopy of politicians now and sitting in the House of Representatives. We can call Funati Kofa need.
Thomas Fala.
Can we not call Beaufort Chambers need?
Thomas Fala.
Thomas Fala. Can we not call Sir Joseph Neems?
Finna Bono.
Alfonso. So this thing is not about CDC. This thing is about all the people who stole from our country.
And that is where, as we started our conversation, everybody, civil society organizations, as you mentioned,
Yeah,
political parties in the country, as you mentioned, individual advocates and activists who have been parading the streets of Monrovia with broom or whatever, claiming, that they're fighting against corruption. Everybody, student leaders, women groups, youth groups, because these are the groups that are impacted and
Go
affected by
see
corruption.
the compound of this Samora Wolokoli ball.
Yeah.
Somewhere
Yeah.
there behind
Yeah.
Cinco, there old road area in the gate town. I went to drop somebody off the other night when I was
Wow.
in the bureau.
Yeah.
And I said, who got this? I mean, more than a
Yeah.
high rise.
Okay.
They said that Samora Wolo Collie.
Yeah.
I mean, but people, what type
What,
what
who
type of
is
trouble is
he?
this?
Like, it's a generational wealth. How did he even get this wealth that he has here?
Hey,
That's
what I rich man, Dr. Wolo Collie, what I rich man.
that's why that's precisely the point I'm
That's
making.
the question that people be asking. Yeah,
Yes.
how, my man, how you
So
get all the money here?
where you got all this money from? You just go here for year, then you build all these mansions with all these high-rise buildings, all these apartments and stuff like that. Let's look at your income, because our income is tracked. Where to pay, where it go, where the deposits, who pay you, and all of those things. Those are the questions that the LSCC and the Justice Ministry and everybody should be asking. I think, though, all of the opposition political parties in the country, all of the civil society organizations need to jump on this bandwagon and say we all need this, because we all campaign, they want to stop corruption, they will fight, they will stop corruption, they will punish people, they will fight for accountability. This is the time to join the government and not say sit back and let these CDC people and the government fight, because CDC goal, as I've said before, is to frustrate the government, is to frustrate the people such that the government doesn't go after them, and then corruption continues. And if you are committed to fighting corruption, as our politicians and civil society people have been arguing, by association, etc., they all should join in this fight and say no.
No, but man, you coming to talk about all that thing. Let me call another man who I forgot about. Prince Johnson.
Yeah.
Prince Johnson. Every American said the man I pay for play.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm messing him pretty well.
The man take government money and support his private school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Money in the budget for his private school.
Mhm. And these are the things that we should be investigating and prosecuting.
The
And
list is too
yeah,
long, man.
yeah, the list is long. The list is very long. The list is very long, and that's why we all should join in this fight. Now, CDC people say Tua ran away. He refusing to go back to be prosecuted. I heard he wrote something the other day. The first thing he was claiming is witch hunt. Now he claiming manhunt, because I guess information minister said that they have alerted international Interpol, international
Interpol.
police.
Yeah.
So now he's saying they're hunting him and they're manhunting other people. It's no longer witch hunt, it's manhunt. Look, we as Liberian people, if we are serious, we must take off our opposition hat.
Yes,
Put
man.
on the
Our
patriotism hat that says let the country succeed. The opposition hat is saying the government must fail so we can win tomorrow. And the way the government will fail is to undermine everything the government does, including all of the good things that the government does. When just sit and just criticize. That's why I see opposition political parties doing in that country. Oh, this person, but they need to come together and demonstrate to the Liberian people that they're actually serious about fighting crime and corruption in that country. And they're not doing it. I haven't seen statement from ANC for anybody saying anything. I want to once again applaud that youth group that came up
Yeah,
and
they
said,
did a great job. Yeah.
yeah,
So look there. It is painful when Dustin Wallow Collie went after Talbot for corrupt. They were part of the whole progressive team.
Mm-hmm.
And now his son is engaged in looting the country.
Yeah.
Eh? Where the guys come from? You just get rich overnight in a small place that everybody can see, but yet you don't want to be held accountable. If Volcano, look, I mean, if we have government officials then, let's who running our men are government official.
Of course.
Once the lecture who will high rise, they want to get a man $17,000. I see the man with gracious ride. So you have to be to the proximity of the money.
Yeah,
So
man.
we see the people now who are in the proximity of the money.
Man,
I'm being practically honest here. Paul Leggy, Minister of Information.
17 G, man.
Yeah.
Operational.
No, this is the truth, right?
It's true, yeah. But the man himself said it.
Yeah,
You know.
you see the circle. You can see the circle. Who told you said Mary Brown not corrupt? Or real estate corporation, then GSA, then LEC again. You tell me now, what kind of trouble is this? We see people just come to prominence overnight, financial prominence,
Become hero overnight, my man.
financial prominence.
The man I couldn't afford to pay $25 rent, man.
These are the people now you calling honorable.
Yeah.
How can you be honorable with integrity and you rob your country overnight? So, gentlemen, this is where we're going to close. What type of country is this? Where people become financially prominent overnight.
What
And
type
they
of
don't want to be held accountable. What type of country is this?
What type of country is there when they invite you to LACC headquarters, then you invite the entire West Point to go defend you? The man went to Dukuta to all the old man from the market.
Your cow. Oh my, your cow. Get $5 for your day. Invite them.
Why you gonna make the day? Maybe
we gave $5 for the whole day.
$10 for the whole day. Y'all come. Y'all get on the bus. We're going to that LACC. They might get money like that.
Y'all get in the bus. He said, well, okay, so y'all get in the bus.
When we get there, y'all will know. But where I carry also? Hey,
y'all get in the bus. When the boss took out, the head of the group turned around, we're going to LACC office. My guest say each of y'all will get $10. Oh, you did where? I ain't even sure what my show I'm gonna eat today.
Oh God! Yeah, country, man. What type of country is this?
Again, man, people just use our people like objects, man.
Yeah, people want to be used as objects. Eh? You want to be used as object, Moses? What type of country is this that the man who graduated from LU and the deuce, the man doesn't know the meaning of schools?
3-4% investors schools of people.
The government kills schools of people. The government wounded schools of people. The government incarcerated schools of people. What is this?
Mama, man. When they not see police people carrying nobody, where the schools coming from now?
Goodness.
Jesus.
Wesley, let's get Christopher Wesley. What type of country is this? You want to get rich, get government lucrative position.
That's it. What type of country? Yeah. But when I think we were talking, right? Like the guy would say you are earning $20,000. Yeah, man. He went to Liberia waiting for $2,000 job. That man got different intention. Because I must say, if I'm on a recruitment team, and the question I'll be asking, I said, but man, not do some rational thinking here.
Your resume show you.
Yeah. You said, my man, I hold you on spoon. You say you are making 20G. But my man, that joy, what you fighting for that day? The other 2G will pay.
That will take it.
Yeah, why you at 2G? No, there's something not right.
Emmanuel Jackson, what type of country is this? The president out traveling, trying to get investors in the country, and the major political party throwing stones and undermining the peace.
Yeah.
What type of country is this? You had your president who were jumping all over. In fact, they may have more trips than Bwaka yet.
What are you talking about?
And so
they took almost 50 days, bro.
George, we are just went to have fun.
Yeah.
They took almost 2 months out of the country.
Yeah.
Collecting $2,000 incidental pocket change every day.
Every day.
Apart from all of the other things.
Yeah. Just for watching TV and having fun.
Then you get vexed.
You get vexed.
When they call people to be accountable.
Man,
Did you,
fairs, man.
did you see the Jeep that Nathaniel McGill was riding with Serena
Man,
Seacrest?
the man was riding a BMW SUV. The average cost $75,000 of that SUV. $75,000 of that BMW that boy was driving SUV. And he sent the people to Slipway to carry our grandma there and gave each of them $5. And the people were happy.
To come in North.
Endanger the safety of our people, my man. What if something had gone wrong to that play Volcano?
I mean, that's why this Mono River team is the youth of the parliament, the Liberian chapter is commending the police for
Yeah.
restraining themselves.
Mhm.
The police wouldn't even walk to them. Look at a guy in the purple t-shirt just coming to say he
The
ran.
man say one fight.
Well, what type of nonsense is this?
Yeah. Can you imagine a police officer walking? Volcano, can you try that thing, yeah, my brother?
And armed too. Your
Volcano,
posture,
go ahead.
your posture, you show
Volcano,
the man defiance.
a police officer shows up at your door and you can't in that kind of defensive mode, you will be there right away. Because that's an attack. The man will defend that as you coming to attack him. That man will bring you down. Officers with AK-47.
And then interestingly, who you dying for?
We
You
dying.
dying for a criminal.
Yeah.
There's no secret the man is a criminal. The Americans will not say something if they don't have the evidence.
My man
And
do
all
have
the
it.
foolish people that keep saying the man has not been tried in the court of competence jurisdiction, he is sanctioned. He is sanctioned with evidence.
The people say we are willing to cooperate with the Liberian government. The burden is on your government now.
Yeah. Is that the man you will go die for?
Mhm.
That nonsense they did?
Yeah.
Is that the man you will go die for to go challenge police officer who is fully in a combat
Yeah,
form?
yeah.
Eh?
Man,
Is that the man you will go die for?
good job, man.
Nathaniel McGill, who buried mother in a mausoleum
Mhm,
when you may not even have a grave
mhm.
or a
And
decent-
because stuff like that happened to you, they will just bury you. That man take $1,000 and send it to your family and say, I'm out to help.
Huh?
That's it.
Tell me
Yeah.
now.
It's a very sad situation, Volcano.
Tell me.
Look at these people.
I'm gonna find out, man.
You ask the people of Volcano.
Get it, man.
Say,
Look
yeah,
at-
they had a minute. Yeah.
Look at him. He omo.
Yeah.
For
You
the
see?
man there who
Yeah.
left don't even brush your teeth. Seriously. Seriously. Watch the man. Look at the man moving out to the police.
Yeah, you see it, man?
Look at him.
No, right on 12.
So this is turning.
Yeah, you see it, man?
So this is what is unfolding now. The police are telling them to remove themselves. And
How do you protest and block the gate
The entrance.
of a public
Government-
institution?
Yeah, government office.
A public institution
Volcano,
that
look,
is functioning.
look at this lady. Look at this old lady.
With her umbrella because you know
Yeah.
I want to bring
Yeah.
I kind of
Does she understand the meaning of the word payroll
Protest.
party?
no the word
Yeah,
protest.
protest. Does she even know? They just put the woman on the bus and carry her. Look at this other lady in the back.
Yeah.
All these ladies from West Point, Nukuta.
this is what is unfolding here now. So they are saying they will now remove themselves from the gate of the LCC. This is live.
Look at this lady.
Look at the other man. Teeth not even- Is there civilization for our country?
I mean,
You see why I said our country is damaged? The image of
insanity
our
at the
country
highest level.
is damaged.
It is
Talk
insanity.
so. We have had politics in Liberia since 1978-79 up to 1980. It has not been so ruthless like this. It has not been so disorganized, so defiant like this.
No,
It's not been.
no.
This is not new.
Mhm.
Politicking is not new. Rioting is not new. I mean, not rioting, protesting is not new.
No.
But if taking it to the extreme,
It has escalated, my man.
look at the people here. Look at the people here.
Look at this woman. Look at this lady standing right here at Volcano. The one who is closer to the guy with the CDC flag. Look at that lady.
And you call this your right?
Yeah.
Your right to impede the
And free
function
movement of people,
of a
a government
big
entity.
institution.
That is no right.
They put a man in jail. They want to call the man to come answer some questions about what they found in a report. And then you come here and block the people play. You could stand outside there. You could stand against the other fence on the other side. And that all you say, and not easy. Oh.
What is not easy?
Not easy. Oh. Not easy. Oh.
Yeah, that is it.
Why do people continue to make our country so low? And then when you and I talk about it, it's
Yeah,
because you feel in America. Come on, man.
we hate the people.
We're
What
born
is
in
that?
Liberia. We didn't do this kind of nonsense.
We did not, man.
And that is why we can sit here and have this conversation, because we were looking at our own future and the country's future.
All
You do
these
this
young
stuff
men.
every day. What does it earn for you? What do you get from it?
But remember,
So there is
You do this thing every day. Every day you do it. What does it earn for you? What do you get from it?
damn.
And Moses?
But you don't get anything. What Mr. Weir and his people did, they succeeded in marital, you know, they succeeded in giving Liberia more militants. Everywhere you go, you see them, chanting these war slogans. And that is not what we need. We need people with what productive capacities. We need carpenters. We need masons.
But first of all,
We
you
need
hold a
plumbers.
protest. You hold a protest. You have
Yeah.
you have no formal communication.
Mm-mm.
You got no message. All you doing is just jumping there.
Yeah, not easy.
Not easy, oh, and not easy. And not easy, oh, and not easy. I protest there. Just stand around, just jump out play. Not easy, oh, and not
Yeah, what not easy? That's a question they can
Yeah.
answer.
why not
And he,
easy?
asked, and he asked one of them, but my man, what did you come here to do? You say, oh, my man, the people say, we must come. Oh, is that all? The people say, you must come? It's sad. They are hungry. They want market to give them. I think that what they got bad. Emmanuel is right. They are hungry. They want market to give them something. That why and now you say, like, do what Emmanuel Jackson.
Yeah, not easy. Oh, we need to do.
Yeah, somebody got to drop something before we leave right here.
I see how my uncle the man is out there. What's I have? And not easy. Not easy. I mean, I give up, man. Moses, I tell you, I beg you. Moses,
Emmanuel excellent interpretation of the message.
we are hungry. Oh. We are hungry. Oh. And not easy. Give us money. Oh. And not my girl say, my guy, but you know that money is so we got small.
You gotta drop something and not easy, my man.
You know, when you say you steal the money, and even if you steal it, you doing something in the corner, just bring out, oh, and now he say, oh, we here, oh.
They want the people also in the money, my man.
Oh, well, I be.
Yeah,
Damn,
that is
it's an interesting country. Damn it. What?
It's a very unfortunate situation.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's very sad.
That's the best question I can
Yeah.
ever ask.
Yeah.
Type of country is it?
They did that for 6 years, brother. In my Kelly also.
What?
Yeah, and I use it.
You leave hustle money?
Yeah, that also.
I put that and I easy, oh, and I easy, and I easy, oh, we have, oh, every house party, oh, and I easy.
I left the church to the hospital fool. And I use it.
No, don't bring her here for nothing. You know,
I gotta carry something with me.
if you want to say it the other way, you know how the black they get?
Yeah,
You want to get a part different place?
you're right. They say, my man, who black in that gate, you have to pass through the gate before you go.
They do going outside for nothing. So no, we show him my gay inside now.
Yeah, that is it with me singing.
Yeah.
And then nowhere for the man to escape. You gotta put him outside. And
Now,
that is it.
Got one protest with personal interest. A protest with personal interest. They may not protest in the cause of the people. A personal
All the men that left their home, man. They told the children, they said, no, we're coming back. The man told him why he said, no, wait for me, my kids, we should go.
Yeah. I see someone like eating something.
Yeah, so they eat. And we'll go down there. The saw is, and I use it. Lord Jesus, it's sad, man.
You know, men sleeping in the party headquarters on the ring, on the tree. Oh yeah, and the men living there permanently.
Yeah, but can you imagine, man?
I see people live on the
Look, I live over there, or they sleep on the floor.
I had Jefferson coach sleeping there too. There you go.
Oh, yeah, you see, I can't grade method or Zogo.
The man regrets to Zogo.
Yeah, but man, the man going back to bed. You see the man hair on his head, my man. No, man, these CDC people are jokers, man.
You know what to do with it. I wasn't happy.
Yeah, man. People are jokers, my man.
Was it, my man? I see you.
Yeah, but man, after 6 years, my man, you go back to Zogo life.
He said, "You ready? Let me find it, man. Let me find it, man. Let me find it, man. What a man."
Just 6 years old, the man come back to Zogo life.
I get it, man. One more theme.
Yeah. The man look at the man looking at Koji.
Hey, man.
Can you imagine, my man? The man can't call the hair.
Yeah, the man wearing parted t-shirt.
Yeah. And that is it, my man. It's not fault.
Man, I used to say, that's not me something. When I used to, we gotta wait for 6 years.
Yeah, my man. All the coach to their go, my man. The man feeling pony in there.
Is that for Alphonso? You did, man. So there, he said, Paul.
I said, yeah. Oh, if I went to the full garden, he said, for me, yeah, give me 20 ball. I will come by in 2 weeks. You know, the garden, when they credit each other ball, my man, the interest rate, my man, can be 100%. Oh. They make each other ball, it tells them, my man, you got to pay 20 interest. So that $40, they make you one more. After the one more, they won't you love.
Life.
Jesus. It is funny and laughable.
So the man
Yeah, that's all over, man.
but spring, my man, look how great looking back. Less than 7 months.
That's the same one, man. Go back to Zugo life.
If we get him in 3 years, we're not making up.
He's talking about you even give me another 8 months. Now, why did the people fighting to come by the government for?
Yeah.
Then they can't believe that you tend to Zugo again.
Oh, you say, man, the speaker getting smart, be working as a ball.
The speaker called the man, my man, the man was struggling, man. So the speaker had to call him. He said, my man, I know his shit, but excuse me, my people. He said, man, look, you know what? Just come here, my man. You gotta do anything. At least I'll be giving you something like $2 every month. So the man was in the office of the speaker. He's an aide. Can you imagine a former lawmaker, chairman or executive, he turned to aide?
That man was there for 18 years?
Yeah.
18 long years.
Yeah. So now forget right? Like the two are sitting here. Can you imagine if we went back to ERPC today and somebody said we must be report us again? You do know what be something what? So you keep back on, but you tell the report. We pay your $4. Lord Jesus. My wife called me, but also I said, "What you doing the ERPC again? You boy, you honor your mind, eh?"
You said I didn't fuck on man. Or the man said I didn't join you.
Yeah, I'm a big reporter, and me when I am.
Oh God.
Yeah, my 13-year-old called me and said, "Dad, you must be honor your mind."
Let me take off my glasses for my again.
I tell you, forget your daughter will call you and say, "Dad, Papa." Baba. Oh, ask for our pay. He said, "Forget my man, stand on. All the time, be I'm gonna wait you not do asking me for pay."
You can't come in talking about where I pay.
Where me? But I happy you.
Bug again, my man. My sorry that boy you won't pay.
That boy they get better ball go. He said, "My man play that hustle ground."
Liberia.
What? It's a joke, man. Yeah.
What's it?
Yeah.
And that you say.
Hey, you tell people say you want bug, then they say you're not nationalistic. Go.
What's it? And that you say. That's true. And that you say.
Yeah, he said Christopher, he said Moses Akar Great is ready working in the speaker office. Yes, my brother. The man is an aide, no?
Yeah, man.
It's Christopher, the man is an aide in the office of the speaker. Yeah, it's public information. You can call the speaker office on Monday, they will tell you. He works there.
Yeah.
Akar's Great is former chair of the House Committee on the executive, man.
Can you imagine that though?
Yeah, former chair, 18 years, lawmaker, and he become an aide.
The man do a job. The man do a job. Yeah, man, I won't go back to that.
You want to go back to the old man there?
So they are saying they will now remove themselves from the gates of the LCC. This is live.
We eat today, oh.
So there is a stubborn is turning. So this is what is unfolding now. The police are telling them to remove themselves, and this is what is unfolding here now. So they are saying they will now remove themselves from the gates of the LSTC. This is live.
They say you're gonna bring police here. Oh, yeah, today we leave the house.
And you see the other Oma, Desi letter. She got her umbrella on her arm.
She's expecting to read.
She said, "Okay, you say at least I found out I would do something for the children."
Oh, man. So was it? Look, my people, the last what segment what called what?
Whatever
Empire. After we not discuss the beat,
we gotta make some more fun, man.
And that is it.
And that is it,
Yo,
man.
Chris Wesley, it is true, my man.
What you know, Chris?
The man that speaker aid. Hey, know your man. We are have presidential aid.
Yeah, man, aid to the speaker.
Yeah, that man a speaker aid to the speaker.
He said, "Look, my man, go to Senator Yombi Kanga office and tell her that the speaker say he will be ready for the meeting at 2 o'clock." Okay, yeah, chief.
You're going. When Akaras, what that paper I told you to carry to Sajo,
Yeah.
sir?
He said, "But man, why you wasting time?
Yeah.
My man, get the paper now." Okay, chief. Yeah, my man, life is unpredictable.
Hey, man, Fala, he said, my man, I know, I screw up, my man, but you got fun gas slip for your mail.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you go to father. He said, "My man, you know that chairman thing there, you are on ways and means. So, you know, I used to push for you. Oh.
Yo,
Yeah, my man. He said, my man, I came today, nothing to the horse.
now he said, and now he said,
He said, my man, father, you gotta do something, my man. My man, the madam is sick. And the back rest, my man, are only 2 cups. Yeah, not even oil, my man. You gotta do something about it.
I mean, I see you, man. I see you.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? I can't go with Central for me. When I get to RI, is it I send email, just rest of me.
Great
Yeah,
guy.
but thank you. It was a great show.
Great guy arrest nobody.
Yeah, oh my man, I'm able. I got all my boys in
Oh,
that
but you're
town.
getting a small thing. You're getting a small thing.
Oh yeah, so I get so are you great? Yeah, look.
Oh, man,
Tomorrow,
you
you
can't
know,
say
man,
that.
$250.
That
So, yeah, I gave 50 body, man, because VIP right away for me. Oh, I'll go over, man. Yeah, my man, the man sleeping. Oh, why you standing outside with you? Yeah, it was a pleasure. Great
Thank
show.
you, everyone. We'll
Okay.
be back here on Tuesday by the grace of God. Good night, all of you wonderful people.
It's not easy over there.
Chip.
All right.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. All right.
Good night, everybody.